Next time you're at the store, walk past the aisle with the muscle soaks and the foot fizzes and look at the prices. A jar of lavender muscle soak runs $10 now. The foot fizz tablets are $8. Turn them over and read the small print, and it's the same magnesium sulfate right at the top, the plain Epsom salt you can buy by the bag for a few dollars. And that same bag has work to do out in the garden and around the house. I tried it every way folks swear by and kept the ones that earn their place. So I've got 15 uses for you, getting better all the way down. And number 1 is the one I would never give up. So let's get started. Number 15. Walk out to that one thin yellow patch in the lawn, the spot that never greens up no matter how you water it. Now, if the grass there is starving for magnesium, and some lawns in sandy ground are, a little Epsom salt can help it come back. Dissolve 2 tablespoons in a gallon of water and pour it right over the patch, or scatter a light handful and water it in well. Grass leans on magnesium to make the green in the blade, so when it runs short, feeding a little back can bring the color up. I'll be honest with you, this is no miracle. If that patch is packed dirt or a place the dog visits every morning, salt won't fix it, and piling on more than a little does the grass no favors at all. But where magnesium really was the missing piece, it perks up over a couple of weeks. A bag of lawn feed runs $20–30, and for a bare patch or two, a few tablespoons of Epsom salt is all you're out. Number 14. Here's one for anybody whose hair goes limp and won't hold any body. Mine falls flat by noon most days, no matter what I do with it that morning. What's weighing it down is the buildup that settles in over time, the leftovers of styling products and hard water that never fully rinse away. So once in a while, stir a spoonful of Epsom salt into a handful of your conditioner. Work it through damp hair from the roots on down, leave it a minute, and rinse it clean. The salt draws that buildup out and gives the hair some lift again, like it can finally stand up on its own. Don't do it every wash, just now and then, because it can dry your ends if you lean on it too hard. The volumizing bottles at the salon run $15 and up, and this is a spoonful of what's already in your cupboard. Number 13. Come summer, the rabbits find the garden before you do, and they'll mow a row of young beans right to the ground overnight. I won't sell you a promise on this one, but a lot of gardeners around here scatter a ring of Epsom salt along the edge of the bed, and they swear the critters don't care for the taste or the feel of it and move along to easier pickings. Keep it out on the border, not heaped up against the stems, and lay it down fresh after a rain washes it off. If it buys your seedlings a few weeks to put some size on themselves, it has done its job. A bottle of critter repellent runs $10–12 and leaves a sharp, foul smell all over the yard, and a little salt on the ground doesn't. Number 12. When somebody brings you flowers, or you cut the first zinnias out of your own row, you want them to last more than a couple of days. Stir a pinch of Epsom salt into the vase water when you fill it, then change the water every couple of days and add a fresh pinch each time. The little bit of mineral feeds the stems and helps them keep drinking, so the blooms hold their heads up longer instead of folding over by Thursday. Trim a bit off the bottom of the stems at an angle when you change the water too, so they can take it up. Those little packets the florist tucks in the bag do about the same thing, and a box of Epsom salt has been sitting in your bathroom the whole time. Number 11. Slugs and snails do their damage in the dark, and you come out in the morning to find your hostas and your lettuce chewed full of holes. Now, the books argue about this one, so I'll just tell you what I've seen with my own eyes. A dry, gritty ring of Epsom salt laid down around the plant bothers them enough that a good many won't cross it, more the grit than anything else. It won't hold once the dew or the rain melts it down, so it's a morning after morning job, and you keep the ring out away from the roots where too much salt would do harm. Some nights it holds the line, and some nights one gets through anyway. But next to a box of slug pellets that runs $8 and worries you around the dog, a little salt you already have is an easy thing to try first. Number 10. Every cook scorches a pot now and then. The rice sat too long, the sauce caught, and there's a black cooked-on layer your sponge just skates right across. Before you leave it soaking all night, try this. While the pot is still wet, pour a good spoonful of Epsom salt onto the burnt patch and scrub it with a damp cloth or the rough side of a sponge. The crystals are hard enough to grind that scorched layer loose, but soft enough that they won't scratch up the pot the way steel wool does. Add a splash of water as you go and keep working it in small circles. What's stuck comes up gray on the cloth, and the pot comes back clean. A can of scouring cleanser runs $4 and coats everything in perfume and bleach dust. This is grit and water, nothing else. Number 9. Look at the houseplants on the windowsill, the ones going yellow between the veins while the veins themselves stay green. That pattern usually means the plant has run short on magnesium, and the potting mix runs out of it after a year or two of watering it through. So once a month, dissolve a teaspoon of Epsom salt in a quart of water and give them that instead of their plain drink. The magnesium is what the leaf uses to hold its green, so when you feed a little back, the new growth comes in the right color. Go easy, a teaspoon and no more, because more does not mean greener, and a plant can get too much of it. If the whole leaf is yellow or the plant is drooping on you, that's a different trouble, and this won't touch it. The little bottles of houseplant food run $6, $8, and a teaspoon of Epsom salt does this one job for pennies. Number 8. Out to the vegetable garden, where you'll hear this one argued at every fence line. Tomatoes, peppers, and roses all lean on magnesium, and when they're short of it, the lower leaves go pale and tired while the plant sulks. If that's what you're truly seeing, a tablespoon of Epsom salt dissolved in a gallon of water, poured around the roots once or twice in the season, can help bring the green back. But hear the whole truth on this one. It only helps if your soil is actually short on magnesium, and plenty of soil is not. Pouring it on healthy ground does not grow you bigger tomatoes, and too much can throw the soil out of balance and do more harm than the good you were after. A soil test costs a few dollars and tells you whether you even need it. When you do need it, the box on the shelf beats a special rose food every time. Okay, we're right about halfway down, and so far this has all been the yard, the garden, and the kitchen sink. But the ones that save the most are still ahead, and those are the ones I reach for most. So stay with me. The best of it is down at the bottom. Number 7. Slip off your shoe and check your heel, rough and cracked at the edge where the sandal rubs all summer. A warm Epsom soak is the old fix. Warm up a dishpan of water and stir in a good scoop of salt, then give your feet 10 minutes in it while that rough skin softens up. Then take a pumice stone or a foot file to your heels while they're still soft, and the hard skin comes away easy instead of fighting you the whole time. Go light with it, a little at a time, and never file down into sore or tender skin. And if you've got diabetes or poor circulation in your feet, skip the filing and let your doctor tend to those heels, because down there feeling can fool you. Rub in a little lotion after, and you're set. A salon pedicure that does the same thing runs $30, $40 and a good part of your afternoon, and this is 10 minutes and a scoop of salt out on the back porch. Do it once a week through sandal season and your feet stay smooth clear into fall. Number 6. Summer brings the itch along with it. Whether it's a row of mosquito bites, a brush with poison ivy, or a sunburn you earned out in the garden, here's the comfort for all three. Soak a clean washcloth in cool water with a couple spoonfuls of Epsom salt stirred in. Wring it out and lay it over the itchy spot for a few minutes. For a wider patch, poison ivy up an arm or a sunburned back, run a cool bath with a cup of salt dissolved in it, and settle in for a soak. The cool and the salt together can quiet the itch and take some of the heat out of the skin while it calms down. Keep it cool, never warm, on a sunburn, and stay off any skin that's broken or blistered. A bottle of anti-itch lotion runs $6, $7, and this is a cool cloth and a spoonful of the same salt. Number 5. The skin on your arms and legs goes dry and flaky, and no amount of lotion seems to fix it. So make yourself a scrub. Mix a couple handfuls of Epsom salt with just enough olive oil to hold it together, and rub it over damp skin in the shower in slow circles, then rinse it away. The salt sloughs that dead skin off, and the oil goes to work moisturizing at the very same time, so you step out soft instead of ashy. It's the rough patches on your shins and your elbows that feel it most, the spots that never quite smooth out on their own. Go gentle with it and keep it off your face and anywhere the skin is broken. The salt scrubs in the pretty jars at the bath shop run $12, $15, and it's mostly this in a prettier package. Yours costs about $1 and does the very same thing. Number 4. A day in the garden leaves your hands cracked at the knuckles and stained down in every line, and regular soap won't touch that ground in dirt. So give your hands the same treatment your feet just got. Soak them in a bowl of warm Epsom water for a few minutes to soften the skin, then take a scoop of the salt straight and scrub it between your palms and around your nails. The grit lifts the dirt up out of the cracks, and the warm water eases the soreness that comes from gripping a trowel all afternoon. Dry them off and work in a little lotion or petroleum jelly after to seal the moisture back in overnight. The gardener's hand creams and scrubs at the garden center run $8, $10 a tin, and this is 2 things you already keep in the house. Number 3. Your feet do a lot of work in a day, on the go from morning to night with 4 kids in the house, and by evening they're swollen and aching. This is the one you'll thank me for. Fill a basin with warm water, pour in half a cup of Epsom salt, and sit down somewhere comfortable with your feet in it for a good 15 or 20 minutes. The warm water and the salt together ease the ache and help settle the swelling, and honestly, just sitting down with your feet up does a fair share of the work. If your feet swell often, or you've got diabetes or trouble with your circulation, talk to your doctor before you soak, because feet that swell up again and again can point to something bigger going on. The compression socks the drugstore sells for swollen, tired feet run $15–20 a pair, and this is a warm basin and a scoop of salt for pennies an evening. A whole bag lasts you all season. Number 2. Everybody knows the misery of a splinter you can't quite get at, buried in the side of a finger or the bottom of a foot, too deep to grab and too sore to dig at. Before you go after it with a needle, soak it. Stir a couple spoonfuls of Epsom salt into a small bowl of warm water and soak the spot for 10 or 15 minutes, a couple of times a day if you need to. The soak softens the skin and draws the sliver up toward the surface, and more often than not, it works its way out on its own or comes up to where you can lift it out clean with a pair of tweezers. Now, a splinter that's deep or dirty or anywhere near an eye is one for the doctor, and if the spot turns red and hot on you, that's an infection and it needs looking at. But for the everyday sliver off the garden fence or the back deck, a warm soak beats digging every time. All right, one quick thing before the last one. If these little tricks are putting money back in your pocket, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on the notifications too. I've got a long list of these still to share, and half of them come from folks like you sending in what works at their house. Now, let's get to number 1. Number 1. After a long day pulling weeds or hauling mulch, or just a day that wore you out all over, run yourself a warm bath and pour in a cup or 2 of Epsom salt. Stir it around until it melts into the water, then get in and soak for a good 20 minutes and let the whole day go. The warm water loosens the tight, sore muscles, and a lot of folks feel the magnesium in the salt helps ease the ache along with it. Even if it were only the warm water and 20 quiet minutes, I'd tell you it's the cheapest way I know to feel human again at the end of a hard day. Keep the water warm and not scalding, and if you're expecting or you've got heart trouble, keep the soak short and gentle. Now think back to the top of the video, that $10 jar of lavender mussel soak and the $8 box of foot fizz. Turn either one over and it's this same salt, with a little perfume and a pretty label stirred in, and the price run up 10 times over. A whole bag runs a few dollars and lasts you the winter. There's nothing fancy about a bag of salt and a warm tub. It's just the old way of looking after yourself with what you already have, and it works as well now as it ever did. And that's 15 uses out of 1 bag of salt that costs less than your morning coffee. Now, what do you soak away or scrub up with Epsom salt that I didn't get to here? Drop it down in the comments. I read every single one. And it looks like YouTube's gone and picked out another money saver for you up there. Go on and give it a look, and I'll meet you over there.